The world's countries agreed to set up a financial mechanism to compensate for loss and damage caused by global warming in the most vulnerable countries. That is why leaders of small island states are hailing it as a historic step forward towards climate justice.
Well, the loss and damage thing was a significant accomplishment for us because we've been calling for that for a long time. The climate finance issue is one that the region has been articulating for many, many years. For the 6 OECS countries party to the Paris Agreement, the financial need is over $3 billion between now and 2030. That is what we require in order to adequately deal with the situation.
The contours of the Loss and Damage Fund have yet to be defined, but according to United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, a transitional committee will be set up to make recommendations on how to operationalize the new financing mechanisms and the fund at COP28 in 2023 in Dubai. However, negotiators at the COP27 failed to agree on more ambitious targets to reduce fossil fuels that cause global warming.
And then we also were expecting to get agreement to more rapidly reduce global emissions, to keep the world on track for the 1.5 degree target. As you would recall from the early COP in Paris, the Paris COP, there was that target of 1.5 degree to keep global warming to that level. Anything beyond that would be catastrophic. And again, current pledges only put us at 2.7 degrees, So it means that there is significant work to be done. And rather than reducing these emissions and these impacts, there's an exponential increase in the impacts.
Faced with the energy crisis exacerbated by the war in Ukraine and the sanctions against Russia, several European countries have relaunched their coal-fired power stations and are uninterested in reducing the use of fossil fuels. It is notably the case of Germany, which in June 2022 relaunched 27 coal-fired power stations in order to compensate for declining supplies of Russian gas. This, in many regards, gives credence to the critics who say the Conference of the Parties is nothing but an exercise in wordsmithing without significant or legally binding action. So why do SIDS still participate?
They may have a point there, but the essence of the situation is that we attend, maybe we get less than what we wish for, but if we don't go, we give up our seat at the table and we get nothing. So it's a battle that we have to fight because we have no choice but to fight it. And we argue as strenuously as we can. We provide all of the evidence. It is backed up by scientific reality, but it is a matter of negotiation. And remember, there are very powerful and dominant economic interests at play here that really, at the end of the day, determine which way the world goes.
By failing to agree to phase out fossil fuels at COP27, leaders have failed to strengthen the signal that the fossil fuel era is coming to an end and are keeping us on a course to climate catastrophe. Without rapid and deep emission cuts, we cannot limit the scale of loss and damage. There is no doubt that, to preserve a livable climate, the extraction and burning of coal, oil, and gas must be rapidly reduced, and depending on how optimistic humanity is about carbon capture technologies, it may be phased out altogether.